Just like it.
Yeah, it will. Can you click and see? Okay. Hello, everyone. We're gonna start in a minute. I want to see if you can hear me clearly. All right. So I'm sorry for technical difficulties earlier, but now I am back on, and we will continue our webinar on Tic-Tac-Hyperdoc. Anyone? It is a new cool tool for student collaboration and creation using iPad. I am Jagruti Mehta from Memorial Pathway Academy. My experience includes 10 years of teaching mathematics, including newcomer mathematics. I am at Memorial Pathway teaching mathematics for last 5 years. Right now, I teach newcomer math and geometry, including a little bit of Algebra 1. I'm also a second year I3 person at our campus. My my moderator is Miss Angie Green. She is a librarian at Rowlett High School. She's been librarian for middle school for last 9 years, and a librarian at elementary school for 1 year. She's Google Level 1 and 2 certified teacher, and her duties include district library professional developments and state library professional developments, and she's also second year campus I3 person. Now, we have few technologies available at the campus. Of course, first, everyone has is one-on-one iPad, and we also have Spheros provided through digital learning. And we have computer labs, and in mathematics, we use TI Inspire calculators. This webinar is aligned to its T standards of creative communicators. So students communicate for a variety of purpose in a variety of methods, expressing their ideas and generate learning artifacts, and also communicate with digital platforms and learn how to communicate appropriately to appropriate audiences. Also, it aligns to innovative designers. Students use iPads or technology, either computer or iPad or Chromebooks, to generate questions and identify problems or solve problems and work on projects. Um, so let's talk about what is HyperDoc. HyperDocs are transformative, interactive Google documents, the Google Docs that we use it every day. But it's replacing the worksheet methods of delivering instruction. And of course, it's not only Google Docs, but it's more interactive. So you can create the Google Doc as gamifying your classroom, but also covering the curriculum that you need to cover. So here are some information about HyperDocs. There is a link about the HyperDocs ladies who kind of invented these hyperdocuments. Their website is phenomenal. You can look into it, and I can just show you quickly a little bit what is HyperDocs by clicking on the link that's right there. So here's the main website of HyperDoc girls, and there are a lot of information about HyperDocs. I took this little picture, put it on my presentation right there. So here, HyperDocs are carefully crafted digital lesson plans that require educators to have a mindset of thoughtful pedagogy. And of course, initially it takes some time to create the hyperdoc, but once you have created the hyperdocs, you're you're good to use it year after year. Oops. Now here's how to create one. I will show you in a minute, step by step. So first, I created a template in Google Docs. Right here, I opened up my template. I was teaching transformation in geometry, rigid transformation. And I've noticed like students understand some concept and sometimes they do not understand. So after clarifying the concept, I wanted to see if they really understood what rigid transformation is. So here I created a 3x3 tiles game similar to Tic-Tac-Toe as we play in regular game. So here I got some information from Khan Academy. Khan Academy has awesome videos um, on different topics. And if the student do not understand English and if they're a Spanish speaker, then if they put their iPad in Spanish mode, then the videos are played in Spanish. So the whole instruction is in Spanish. So here's my template. So I put Khan Academy and then Discovery Education. They watched the animation. And then there is a project that I wanted them to do. Can you translate me please here? And then they had to put stuff on Seesaw. And then I got some information from IXL practice, so they can practice like 10 problems free. If you have account of IXL, they can practice infinitely times. And then I put a freebie from code.org. Since district has purchased code accounts, students can use this. And there was a game I will show you later that really helps them see like where we use transformation. And there was some other games that it talks about transformation, and students really learn how transformation occurs in geometry. So you can create however you want your game board. And then once you create, you need to link your sources. So for example, for Khan Academy here, I want to create a link. So I will highlight this, rigid transformation. And then here, if you see, it says insert a link. I will click on it, but let's copy the link first. So I pulled up a video right there. It says transformation introduction. And then I will copy the link. I will copy the link. And then right here, come back to my doc, insert a link, and paste the link that you want it to direct to. And once I apply, it will become blue font and underline, and it shows that there is a link attached to it. Now, another link you can also post is I have my own slide with the instruction linked over here. So I will go look for my slide in Google Docs and show you how you can create a link from one document to another document. So in a second, I will pull out my link, my slide. And here's one other activity that I want them to do. So instead of copying this link right here, what I can do is publish this slide to web, and it's easier for the students to open it up. So once it's published, publish it. Once it's published, you can copy the link from here, Control C. This link, we will link it to our document right here. This way, when students are working on this document, it won't ask every student to give the permission. So sometimes what happens, like if you don't have it published to web, it will ask you to approve the link and you have to share the document with them. So that eliminates this step. Once you publish it, it will open as a web page. So here we will insert the link and apply. Now, once you create the document, it's also for this document, it's best to publish it to web and then share it with your students in Google Classroom or email or whatever method of communicating you use, you can use it. We usually put it just in the Google Classroom. So here's the link. I can just copy it and use it, email it, or show it to the students. Now, I'll just show you, I copied the link, and if I put it up here, it will show me as a web page instead of a document. So you don't have to give the permission. So once it's published, you can share it with students, and then students can just click on directly how to access it. It's easier. Now, what I did in my classroom with specifically this activity is I gave them, when they walked into the classroom, I gave them a small paper with tic-tac-toe board on it, and they had to, with a partner, they had to play the game tic-tac-toe, and they had to give me the name for the person marks. So for example, in tic-tac-toe we use 0 and x's, so they had to give me who was 0 and who was x. So here's x's name. So they played the game for a couple minutes once they walked in, and then I showed them the documentation, the Hyperdoc that I created, which was also posted in the classroom, so they can open it in the classroom. So once they played the game, of course, most of the time the game was a draw. So I said, it's okay, you don't have to win it. Just play it once, and wherever your zeros are, for example, O's or X's are, that is the block you will work on. That is the activity you will choose from here. I showed them that this is 3x3 9 board, and tic-tac-toe is 3x3. So for example, partner A had X here and X here and X there and X somewhere else. So there were 4 X's and maybe 5 O's. I told them to choose 3 activities from those 4 axes, and they had to work with the partner or separate. So they worked partially individually, and then at the end they had to share what they learned through their activities. So right here you can see in tic-tac-toe, of course nobody will have same zeros and x on the same box. So it was a good activity for 2 partners to discover what they learned and then present what they did to their partners. Now, here in Seesaw, they also posted, where is my, in Seesaw, they posted what they worked there. They could see other classmates' work as well. So there was no, I mean, you can hide other classmates' work also, but sometimes it's good to show them what other classmates are doing, and so they can get some idea, and it might encourage them to work better or compete with each other. And after they were done with the classroom, Google Classroom activities here, these HyperDoc activities, I asked them to work on their 3-2-1 exit ticket. It's one of the tool that we use usually to find out if students understood. So this is what I did. I gave them a paper with 3-2-1 activities. So 3 facts they discovered about particular topics, and then 2 ways that they can use rigid transformation in real world, and 1 questions they still have. So with this, I will know if they really understood the topic or not. And if I need more clarification on something or not. And students were very active in this whole HyperDoc activities. Now, this is one way one way to create HyperDocs. This is probably the basic or probably simple one. I've been playing with it a little bit since I learned about it. But the HyperDoc website that I showed you earlier has lots and lots of information. So let me show you a few more examples. It works with any topic you're working on. So under HyperDoc website, if you look at resources and samples, so there are English samples, there are science samples, there are history, geography samples, and you can get some ideas to create your own HyperDocs or game board. So here, example, once you click on a HyperDoc, you will see different samples. My internet is a little bit slow, so it's pulling up history HyperDocs. And you can see it's history, geography lessons. You can even create HyperDocs using Google Slides. So all of your slides are interconnected, and it has different activities. Here's geography HyperDocs.
Ms. Barada, you have a visitor in the front. Ms. Barada, please come to the office.
Excuse me for that announcement. I'm still at school, so you'll hear stuff happening. Now here, another science samples. So this is one good tool to use in classroom. I've noticed like students were very, very active during their activities, and they were really working hard to accomplish their activities that they had to do. Where is my, okay. So here, there are some other websites also helps how to create one. You have to have something concrete that you want to create hyperdoc on, or you can generally use for review sessions, so end of course for example, and maybe you can have different activities for end of course problems and activities, and students have to choose 5 out of 6, or maybe you can choose to have them do all of them if you have enough time. um, Here the example I created for my hyperdoc is on the hyperdoc website. So they have this give one take one hyperdoc, um, teacher gives teacher. So I gave one. So this is my link for my hyperdocs that I have created. Now if you click on teacher give teachers, you can just give one and you can get some idea or get another hyperdoc that you want to use for your class, and you can do that. And and other resources that you can also use are, of course, digital learning homepage, and the hyperdoc website that I showed you earlier. um, if there are any questions, I could answer them right now, or Angie can answer them. So this is the digital learning website. I'm sorry it took forever to load. Probably my internet is down. But here you can find different webinars that's been done right here under Learning on Demand. Um, this webinar will be posted as well. So these are all recorded webinars. You can go anytime and watch them, and I believe you can also get CPE credits, professional development credits. Are there any questions I can answer? Maybe have question answer session for a few minutes. Angie, I can see the chat section. Is there anybody with the questions? I don't see that. Okay. Oh, Angie, thank you very much for the link for the Amazon.com HyperDoc handbook. Barbara, I will be able to help you and reteach you this later. I know it was a little bit quicker, but if anybody has any questions anytime, you're welcome to email me. My email is jamehta@garlandisd.net, and my Twitter is @JAAMEHTA. And Angie Green's email address is acgreen@garlandisd.net, and her Twitter is @agreengirlreads. Let me see if I can put the Amazon.com's book here and share it with everybody for later as well. It's www.amazon.com/hyperdoc handbook slash digital lesson design. Well, well, it is kind of long, but under Hyperdocs Girls website, you will find their book. This is their book as well. 194516. Or just search under Amazon Hyperdocs handbook. Are there any questions? All right, if there are no questions, I'm gonna um, I'm gonna stop the webinar here. And of course, anytime you can contact us or any digital learning coaches or any digital learning teachers, well, and also I3s at your campus. I really appreciate your patience. Today we had some technical difficulties. Thank you very much.